Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, with my amazing co-host, Tamika. How you doing today?
I'm good. It's Friday. Yay.
It's Friday. We only really have 2 more weeks left in the villa or with the
Yeah.
show, which I'm happy about. Like, I'm enjoying it, but it's a big commitment. And I'm going to be happy when that commitment is done because because I'm doing Love Island UK as well.
Yeah.
That's a good 4 hours daily that I have to dedicate to Love Island. And it just
Yeah.
makes it a little bit challenging. So I'm happy that it's going to be over soon, but I'm enjoying the ride.
Yeah. I said I'll be between the Olympics, which it takes up my other part of my viewer time, and Love Island. I'm up until like really late at night and then up early in the morning to catch what is not on network TV. It's a lot.
A lot. I don't know why they did Love Island and Love Island UK all at the
Yeah.
same time. Like
They did that the first season, right? They did
season 1, I didn't watch it really, but yes, it was at the same time.
yeah, I think it was at the same time. And then season 2 they didn't have Love Island in the UK. So I don't think it, and plus it was later in the summer anyway. So I don't know why they didn't do, maybe because of BIP. I can't understand why they didn't do Love Island USA at August to September like they did the last time. I thought that timing was great because it was like fall, everything was done, nobody's going anywhere, or because of the Olympics. I wonder, no, because it's still hitting the Olympics. If they had done it mid-August when the Olympics is over into September, I think it would have been much better. I think it would have been much better.
I would have enjoyed it probably more because I just would have been like, I'd be doing the coverage every day, but it wouldn't be 4 hours I need to find out. And then I'm like, I'll have to do 3 auditions today. And then I'm like, have to do 10 hypnosis sessions. And like, you know what I mean? I'm like, ah! And then once a week, I do the live feed updates for Rob as a podcast, Taryn. So like, I have to spend the whole day going back and like watching the whole day of like feeds. I'm just like, why did you need to put them both at the same time? 2 hours, like, and Big Brother's on the same time, and then like the challenge is starting. I was like, oh my god!
I know somebody was asking me if I watched the challenge because I need to watch the challenge because there's 4 Love Island people on it. I'm like, guys, like I don't have time right now.
I do have to say though, the challenge is probably my favorite competitive reality TV show. So I do love the challenge. And I've been watching it since day one, so that's probably why I'm so obsessed with it. But it's really good. I don't know how fun it will be for you to jump in, just because you know a couple of the Love Island people. Mm-hmm. But it
I mean, I know some of the challenge people because, like I think I told you, I used to watch like Real World Road Rage Challenge. I used to watch the first set of challenges that they did. I couldn't keep watching it. It was the same people over and over, and then it started getting like just drama filled, so it wasn't just like it was just too much.
Yes, and that's what we love about the challenge. It's just
yeah.
So I mean, then you'll probably be able to hop back in. There would be a few people that you'd probably know that were on the season, and there's a lot of people that I don't even know. So I'm going to be doing a cast assessment next Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern with my girls, Fanta and Michelle, and so we'll be doing our draft list and cast assessments. So we'll take a look and see these newbies and what they have to offer. So we have Brandy was waiting for us. Thank you, Brandy, for being here. So Brandy wants to know, is anyone over Giovanni being hurt about not being on the show anymore? And he's more upset with Cash than Olivia.
I'm not over it. He has every right to be hurt. My whole thing is he's upset with Cash for not being able to convince everybody else to keep him on. And I don't necessarily feel like it's fair for him to be upset with Cash, but she was also his best friend, his best girlfriend in the villa.
Because she's the one that ended up delivering the news.
That too.
So it's kind of a shoot the messenger type situation.
Right. But my whole thing is I still don't believe it was just a girl's decision because I still can't see Trina saying, "Yeah, Jeremy over Giovanni." I don't see it. I don't see it at all.
Me
But
neither.
and he said that and it's not, also not his fault, not their fault if Amy didn't give him no play, Florida didn't give him no play, and those are the two girls he said other than Olivia that he liked outside of who was in the villa. So, I mean, what could they do with that? Like, I don't know.
Maybe he's playing up this narrative because he knows that it's producers that are doing this.
Yeah.
And he just has to play the role that he's upset just to make the story make sense.
Yeah. I mean, he did tweet that he's like, who should I interrogate first when they get out of the villa? How come I went home? And I'm like, and everybody's, of course, Cash. I'm like, Cash is going to say, she's like, I told them to keep you and they didn't keep you. What the hell was I supposed to do? I don't know what, unless she's going to tell. The only thing about Cash is she will tell him straight out. They convinced me that why you wouldn't find love in the villa. Maybe they didn't think like, the unicorn for Giovanni was going to come in for him or whatever it is. Or if she's going to say, I could not convince these people that you could find love in the villa.
I think the women thought that the guys were going to keep Florita for Jeremy. And that they would have wanted to give Jeremy a shot at that.
That's what I think, because they kept saying couples. And Wes and Amy was like, don't worry about us couples. We have our people. And basically, Giovanni thinks that they said, the guy said Olivia to trigger them to understand that they had to say Giovanni. But at the end of the day, I don't know if they could go back on whatever decision was made at that point.
Yeah. I think that they're probably convinced beforehand and like in their diary room or their confessionals or whatever, like they're like, this is who we're picking. And they have to look like they're deliberating, but they probably didn't realize who the men actually were going to pick. That's my own thought. That is my
I can definitely see that. But am I over it? He just got out. He's been out a week. He has a right to be hurt. I would be hurt, and then he's gonna watch it.
So
and then on top of it, you see what's happening with Olivia and Corey and Florida. She is pissed about Operation Kissy Face, and supposedly Isaiah had said that Corey has been liked Olivia, but Florida says that Olivia told her she didn't like Corey at all. So I think Olivia's playing the game, and Corey probably really does like her.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Sorry, like I feel like if you're gonna like Corey, you might as well like Giovanni. Right? Like this
is my problem with it. Did you get to watch the Laid Bare episode?
Oh no, well it wasn't, when you said it wasn't on, I didn't even look for it after that.
Okay, yeah, I think it came in about 1:30, like a half hour later. So I watched it. Not much happened except for a few things, but she said her top two people out of the Casa Boys was Cam and Charlie.
Who's Charlie?
Cash is Charlie.
Charlie. Oh wait, Olivia?
Yes. So my whole thing is, if you're gonna like a Charlie and a Cam, what about Giovanni that you could not like? I am confused. And now you like Corey.
She wants somebody that doesn't want her that much, so she can feel like she's in charge. She doesn't want anybody like, everybody's like that. If you aren't feeling the mutual connection, you want somebody that's more unattainable, that doesn't really want you that much, that doesn't put that much effort in, and so that you're like, ooh, I'm actually interested in you.
I'm like the total opposite. I need you to be like just under Stalkerish. When we get to Stalkerish, then we got a problem.
I'm not like that at all.
I need you to like.
If I like the person, then you can do whatever you want. But if I don't really like someone and someone's just pursuing me and I'm not that into them, then everything that they do gives me the ick, and I'm gonna try to avoid them.
Yeah.
But that's usually like we like didn't date, like it's like first date vibes. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
before you know if you actually like somebody.
Yeah.
Then I'm just like, no, we're not on the same page here.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
So I would be more upset with wasting my time with Olivia. For all we know, Cash could have been outvoted. Yes, that's what we're thinking. Outvoted.
I definitely think Cash was outvoted. I just either she was outvoted by the producers and she was outvoted by the girls.
Or both. Yes, I
Yeah.
definitely agree with that. I guess basically because she kept secrets and kind of hurt about Operation Heart Attack.
Okay, I will say it again. I said it on Twitter, I said it on Facebook, and I'm going to say it again. Who in there told Cash when Trina was rubbing up against Cinco, feeding him grapes, telling him sweet nothings, and then when she went and kissed Cinco and Cinco was going to go tell Cash that he was about to dump her at the last minute, who told Cash, listen, just so you know, this is coming? Which person? Did the girls? Did the guys? Did anybody? No, nobody said that to her. So Olivia is Cash's best girlfriend in the house. Giovanni went with the boys when it was okay for Cash to be brokenhearted, and Cash decided to align with the girls. I feel like it's not fair for everybody to expect the girls to give more to the guys who are their friends than the other way around. Because we see last night, Corey has said nothing to this woman about Cinco going after Leslie. Not one thing. Not that we've seen. And that would be the first thing I would have told Cash. Like, well, he was contemplating going to my girl, but he decided to choose you.
Leslie needs to come out of hiding. And Leslie needs to start talking, because right now she needs. I don't know what I want. We'll get to what I'm thinking. I'm not. I can go either way. Okay, right. Yeah, he wasted his time, absolutely. But it's also nobody saw him past being a friend, because he mentioned he tried to talk to Amy and Florida, but they friend zoned him. Right. I mean, he wasn't really giving off like boyfriend vibes. Like look how Wes, when he came in, he was very focused. He was very like, you know, when he was going on a date, he was being engaging. He was talking to them. And because Giovanni has been leading a little bit more with being humor. Hi, CJ. Thanks for joining us. I think that is why he might have not gotten people to be interested in him right off the bat, because he wasn't leading with making a connection on a romantic level. He's leading more with his humor. So I think that's why he gets friend zoned in this villa situation. In real life, it probably works really well, because you want to hang out with the person that's making you laugh all the time. But in the villa, you want to have that immediate,
connection,
relationship, chemistry. Yeah. I like Giovanni. He just didn't find them at Love Island. Yeah, so he didn't find love there. I think he'll be okay. We're still rooting for him and Sally, if that's a thing. Hi, Netha.
This is my thing.
I hope so. I mean, a lot of people are shipping that, so I wouldn't be surprised if they at least have a Javlogi of the two of them together, which would be super cute. Looking for the challenge starting and for your reviews. Yes, Netha, thank you. So yeah, we usually go live after the episode at about 10:30 Eastern. Every Wednesday, so be there. We usually talk for a long time. I'm gonna try to get faster, like at comments. Hi, Nicole. Okay, mine too. I love the challenge. Yeah, the challenge is great. Hello, Allie. Hi, Sans. Hello. All right. Says, we love you too, Allie. Thank you so much for being here and joining us in this discussion where we just talk about Love Island. We're so silly. Anyone notice that Trina seems to have lost weight? I hope she's okay.
I didn't notice she lost weight. She lost weight? I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice that personally.
She looks fine to me.
She looks the same to me.
Yeah.
Hi, Alexandra. Oh, you did? I didn't even notice. Oh, no E? I'm just kidding. But thank you. I mean, I'm used to people misspelling my name because there's so many ways to misspell it, even though my way is the best way. But
I'm trying to see. they did a TikTok, and I think she was eating like snacks and stuff.
I need Olivia and Corey nonsense to stop. It's giving me stomach pains, Alexandra. It's gonna go full fledged. You saw what happened this episode. Nah, I would be mad at Corey and Olivia. I think that would be worse to me as well.
Nope.
I think Olivia is playing also. I think now she's playing some sort of game. She should have come back with damn Cam. But maybe she thought that if she comes back with Cam, they will be dumped from the island. Because
or nobody would believe them. And so if she goes after Corey, who people like, and he finds love, because she generally, I think she generally likes Corey. I don't necessarily see them as couple vibes.
Okay. CJ, we talked about this. My honest opinion about body language and chemistry between Cash and Charlie is that we don't think. Well, I didn't think that Charlie is necessarily feeling Cash as in a way that we're seeing the chemistry between her and Cinco. In this episode, Cash jumps on top of Charlie and he reciprocates, he puts his arm around her and stuff like that. But he doesn't have this like desire to want to cuddle her, desire to want to be around her. There's no like this pull of them wanting to be together. She'll go on her tippy toes and give him a kiss and stuff like that. But I don't fully see it, and I don't know if it's because they're both not letting their guard down. Tamika and I talked about yesterday. He's a Cancer, so Cancers, if they feel that they're going to get hurt, they might retreat. They're the crab. They might just pull back a little bit. So he could be pulling back because of the fact that she has her eyes set on Cinco, and so he's not allowing himself to fully engage in this relationship with her.
Right.
But I do feel like he's holding back,
right?
Which could look like he's not that into her.
Right. And as I think I sent you that screenshot from her best friend that said that basically Cash needs somebody who's going to play with her like the way that she plays with them. And he's a little more reserved. And so because he's reserved, it's not looking like he's playful. And that's what Cash likes. Cash likes, like, even if I don't think you have to play with her all the time, but you have to be like what we saw with her and Cinco. They were playful. He was reserved, but he was playful with Cash. He would give her shit. Just he's like, even though I can't stand you, and he would kiss her. Like, that's what she needs to feel secure, because that is what she likes. And you can't be mad if that's what somebody likes, because like I said, I need a person who's just like right under stars, like constantly in contact with me.
You're Taurus. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to be attached at the hip, but I need somebody who will show me that they want me, right? And that is what some people like in a relationship. Some people like it when the man is like totally standoffish and ignoring them, and that to them means that, oh, he's fine, we're good. You know what I mean? So it just, for her, she's seeing it, and I definitely feel like he's not as forceful as he was when they were alone in Casa Amor, which is a problem. I need it. If I'm going to believe Charlie and root for Charlie and Cash, I don't care if he's pretty. I don't care if he chose her. I need to believe it. I need to believe that he wants her. He's going to stay with her. He's going to, at the end of the day, when they get the little envelope, and if he gets the $100,000, he's not going to take the money and run. He's going to split the 100K with Cash and keep it moving. That is what I need.
So I was watching After the Island with Amy and Wes, who they're just so good looking together. It's a lot. It's just so good looking. Anyways, they did say that they were scouted. Both of them were like, they got a DM. Someone slid into their DMs to be like, hey, would you want to be on this show? So I don't know if they were just doing certain areas and I don't know, or they maybe management companies, modeling companies, and go and look at their Instagram to see if they want to be on the show. But it seems they've got in that way. And so Charlie also probably, he has 100,000 followers on Instagram. He probably had someone see him. I know somebody here in Toronto that is like thirsty over him. And so I'm like, I don't know who this guy is, but he is quite popular. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's going in with a little bit more of a game plan,
Right.
not to say he's not interested in cash, but I can see that he could have chosen the person that would be best for him to maybe
to couple up with. Yeah, and based on his own IG that is still up there 6 weeks ago, meaning right when he was about to start this Love Island process, he was saying, listen, I'm not, it's not meant for me to be in a relationship. I'm focusing on the bag. So at the end of the day,
the bag.
The problem is that people can't trust Cinco because of what Cinco's done in the villa. And people can't trust Charlie because of what they've seen outside the villa. So at the end of the day, guys, she needs somebody to couple up with in order to win the money. So she just needs, to me, I am neutral in this. I don't care who it is. She just needs to pick somebody that she can have the most chemistry with at the end of the day and keep it moving so that we believe it. We have to believe they are falling in love. They're going to take it outside the villa, whichever one that is. If it's Cinco, I'm okay with it. I feel like, though, with Cinco, he got to work a little harder than he is. I need him to work a little harder. If Charlie is bringing the tea and the coffee, his ass needs to be making the breakfast and bringing it up to her. He needs to be kissing her ass more. I need more of it because right now he's pissing me off.
He's not doing enough at all. Hi, Dana. So Olivia sounds shady if Charlie was on her list. It is pretty shady. But
I was like, Charlie? Where did that come from?
Whoa, Olivia needs to go home, Charlene. Okay. I mean, at this point, I wish that Florida maybe have stayed, or I don't know, maybe not, who cares. But Amy said that she was happy when she left because she is so happy with Wes now. She's like, they get to like be doing their Love Island honeymoon, they were calling it. They're going and traveling around Hawaii. His father or his uncle has a house there or something. They've been staying with them. Like, they've just been touring the island and they've been having a great time. And if you look at their IGs, they definitely have some chemistry. I don't see this chemistry with a lot of people in the villa right now. So
yeah, I don't know if they're long term because she was like that she doesn't do long distance relationships. So his like it sounds like
it was a nudge for him to move.
So I was gonna say it sounds like his ass has to move from Denver to LA because she's like she wants to build her vegan business in LA. So either if we don't see Wes making a move like Caleb, then they will not.
He is making a move 100%. The fact that he already has a business plan for like some sort of restaurant, I don't know if his was also vegan or not, but like they are going to join forces and they are going to use their clout as a couple to launch something. There's no way they would not use this publicity. Like, even if he just goes to live there for 6 months and keeps his place or whatever in I forget where he is, Denver. Like, he needs to go and take this while they're still hot, while people care about what they're doing. That's when they need to launch their shit. So he's moving at least for while they're together and enough time to launch their stuff is what I think. I do know. So I do believe Trina, the vote might actually have something to do with it because Giovanni was pushing for Cash to go after Cinco, and maybe Trina found out about it. Trina and Giovanni weren't friends. That's interesting.
I mean, at the end of the day, every single guy told this was also a problem that I had last night. Every single one of these people now, he went and talked to Kira, have been pushing Cash to go back to Cinco. And so now I don't feel like they're helping her in not doing that. If it like the girl saw how she was with Charlie. The girl see how she is with Cinco. Yeah, go ahead.
My hot take is that the game player in Shannon, maybe even Kira, we want Cash to not stick with somebody because they have an inkling that she's the it girl. He is the person that's going to win this game depending on who she is with. But if she keeps on flip-flopping back and forth and doesn't stick with anybody, she won't be able to get the votes in the end because people won't be really that focused on their coupling. And so I'm wondering if that's why they are influencing her to make these bad decisions and not just be like, stick with somebody. Don't follow your heart. Like, follow your heart, but like, follow your head as well. Stick with someone and see if it works out. If it doesn't work out, you can see them outside the villa. Like, they don't disappear. Like, you can still pursue somebody that you turned down in the villa. So I'm wondering if people are giving bad advice because they're
on
being
purpose. Yeah, it's like Trina comes to cry to her, and then it's kind of like whatever, he wants to be with you, but then doesn't say, oh, I think he's gonna hurt her to Cash. Like, say to Cash, say that you think he's gonna hurt her. Like, I definitely think games are being played. I'm annoyed, and I'm not saying that she has to stay with Charlie, because as far as I've seen, Facebook, Twitter, and IG, it's a literally split down the middle. Half the people want her with Cinco because they saw the chemistry. Half the people don't believe Charlie, so they just like, listen, no, she might as well stick with the enemy she knows. And then the other half are like, oh my God, it kind of like what they did with Isaiah. Oh, she got picked by him. She should just stay with him. What is wrong with her? Doesn't she see he's in love with her? And I was like, I don't listen. I liked Charlie with her in Casa Amor, and I don't think that he's in love with her. I'm not seeing, unless they're cutting it out. We only see an hour of a day, sometimes
they
2
don't show
days.
anything on the drop or laid bare.
Yeah, and there was nothing on laid bare other than they showed her choosing him, and even then, when she chose him, it wasn't like he was like happy. She was more happy than he was. Just some things are just like, I don't know. I'm kind of seeing where Cash is going with the Charlie not really
He's not
giving her what she needs.
But the problem is because she's comparing their relationships to Cinco's. And
Yeah.
they're different people, different relationships, different star signs, and they're not going to have the same relationship. So
Right.
she needs to stop comparing the two. And
I agree. That I definitely agree. That I definitely agree.
With Charlie, like,
yeah,
what can we build here? Well, that's something that you can kind of work on. That playful energy. I
yeah.
don't just capture with you in Cinco, but you can build that because, like,
Yeah.
he's still getting to know you as well. You weren't that comfortable with Cinco on day one. You know
True.
what I mean? So, the beginning of this
I think too, like, he was playing with her in Casa Amor. Like, he told her he was gonna get her a wiener dog, and she's like, "You're gonna what?" He's like, I know what to get you for Christmas. I'm gonna get you a wiener dog." And she was like, "I hate wiener dogs." He's like, "I know." It's like, so they had that, but I'm thinking she's thinking more physical, playful energy from him is not what she's getting. And I just, like you're saying, I think in comparing her and Cinco, I just don't know if Charlie's a physical, playful person, right? That might be the difference. Right.
Especially because he doesn't know her that well, and he knows that she has one foot out the door, so he might not know what she likes or what she doesn't like yet. So
Yeah.
he's being tentative, I think. So Will does the cheers to love at the beginning of this episode, and it immediately pulls Kira for a chat. I missed you. And Will tells Kira all about Flo wanting to pursue him. And Netha is a little bit irritated by this. I'm so over blaming Flo for his transgressions, and Kira is just being stupid. I was a little bit annoyed with Will not.
I was annoyed with both of them. First of all, I feel like he kind of lied to her, unless we were lied to, because he said, "Oh, I was never thinking of choosing Florence," and I'm like, did you just lie to her? Because even then, Josh, when we see the next scene, Josh said he almost picked her. So my whole thing is, I feel like he lied to her.
I think he lied to her in the sense that because he made the decision to stay with Kira,
yeah,
he's like, Kira, you were the only one. Like, I never really like, I never was going to choose anybody. But I do think that he was lying to her. I think that he misleading her. But he does say that they kissed right there, and like, I can't believe he said that, because like that would like make my heart like hurt for sure. Be like, oh, you kissed her right where we're sitting right now, great. And you kissed her in bed multiple times. I thought that she would get a little bit more upset by this, but she didn't react in the way that I was expecting her to react. What do you think of her reaction?
Yeah, I was annoyed. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was annoyed by her reaction. Like, she's like, "Oh, you kissed in bed," as if it was nothing. She's like, "You kissed right here, like where we're sitting." My ass would have gotten up. Like, okay, I need to move. We can't sit right here. I know it's raining, but can we go somewhere else? I can't. I don't feel comfortable right here. And just it like even her confessional. She's like, as if, well, he got tested and he still chose me, so it's okay. And there's just something missing. I know that they're kissing and they went in the shower and they did whatever they did in the shower, but I am not feeling it, guys. There's no way, if you had true feelings for this guy and he's telling you he was kissing this girl all over the place, but he still chose you. Because even, and I hate to compare, I don't really want to compare Johnny and Sally, but like Sally was pissed when he said he was kissing her outside of challenges and stuff, and she's like, but I never did that. And she was like pissed at him at least for a day and a half.
I think that Will chose Kira because Kira is more of a pushover. Kira is somebody who will let him do whatever he wants and will always take him back. I think that Flo, he was attracted to her, absolutely. He enjoyed kissing her, enjoyed what they had together. But I think that he would have to be a man of his word and kind of like she wouldn't just allow him to do whatever he wants. And so I think he just wants somebody a little more subservient. You know, I think he wants someone a little bit less having their own opinion, and that's Kira. And he says to her, and which seals the deal, is she never made me feel like you do. And that's enough for Kira. It would not have been enough for me.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all. So Jeff and Shannon are kind of flirty, and he gives Shannon a tour of the villa. And he asked if Kira had a miserable time. And she did get into a fight with Josh here because, like, Shannon's asking, like, did someone sleep in my bed? So what do you think about how Josh handled this?
I knew she would be pissed. I knew she would. She was like, there was an open bed. How could you? Blah, blah, blah. Instead of her being happy, he's like, I was the most loyal in here. I did nothing. And she's sitting there mad at him because he slept with a girl in the bed. And I was dying laughing. I was like, I knew Shannon couldn't just let any of it go. None of it.
And then she says to him, like, well, like, why didn't you just like go and sleep in the free bed with Will? And he's like, Will was busy every night. I was like,
every night.
Whoop. She didn't clock that though. I thought she'd go back and tell Kira.
I don't know what these are conversations. I don't know if it's that the girls are trying to let each other implode or what, because I'm side-eyeing some of these girls. I'm side-eyeing some of these boys. It's all Friendship Island up until the point where now it's like almost 2 weeks to $100,000, and they're just not doing what a friend. Because I could never see Justine finding this information out about Johnny from Caleb, and we know that the boys did not. We know that the boys, the whole thing was that the boys didn't say anything. They said, oh, nothing really. They all came back from Casa Amor and said nothing happened other than the kiss with the thing over the head, which they didn't say anything because they said they didn't see. The only person who said anything was Noah, and then he got kicked off. So we know if Caleb had told Justine even a little bit of that, she would have went back and told Sally.
Agreed. So next scene, we see Miss Trina decide to put her foot down and go and talk to Cinco. And she's like, I know you have feelings for Cash. If you can't choose, you have to let me know. And he does finally choose here, I believe. I think he's like, I want you to be happy. And she's like, you're not answering the question.
No. That's not when he chose. He chose another
conversation.
Yeah, it was another conversation. He chose later on the swing. But this conversation, I think I swear to God, this is what went through Cinco's head. I swear to God. He said, Cash just came down with a guy. He sees this girl loved up on this guy. She looks happy as hell. And he's like, frig, I'm screwed because I don't want to be with this girl. But I might have no choice because otherwise then I'm single. So then I think he tried to tap dance around it and still not choose her, because then even when he had the conversation with Cash the next minute, right? She's like, listen, I want you to know that I said what I said and I meant it. But he has shown me something different that I'm not seeing for you. He's like, well, I want to be with you, but I'm not going to fight him for you. She's like, wait a minute, so you're not going to fight him for me? So then you don't want, so he was still like on the fence, on the line. He would not, and I think it was because he really did not want to be single and have to figure that out.
And what?
I have to figure out being single in the villa.
He's a mess. No, because then he would just go over to Leslie, and that would be messy.
Right.
So what happens? No, not Trina looking at another one of Cash's men. Wait, so what did Trina say, that she was also into Charlie?
No.
Oh, okay. So someone would just say Trina better stay away from Charlie. I mean,
no.
I wouldn't be
surprised. The only people who want her with Charlie is people on Twitter that I've seen, because they said they're both reserved, so they're perfect for each other. And I'm like, I don't understand where you people are getting this. I've not seen her look at Charlie once. I don't think Charlie's her type. I like at all. So I'm not really sure what that's about. Why people think that she should go. And then I'm like, and then they both be totally dumb from the island because they'd be boring and nothing's happening with them. So I don't know.
I mean, I don't think that they're good together, but if that's what Twitter wants, give Twitter what they want, and then. So we see single Olivia and Corey. She says that she missed him and all that stuff, and talks about how she feels like something is there, and he says it's mutual. I hate you, because she's making him think about something that he wasn't really thinking about before. And so I was just kind of like shocked that like it was reciprocated, because I thought she was out on an island here. CJ says, inconsistent Isaiah said that Corey mentioned loving the kiss with Livia in the kissing challenge.
Yep.
A lot of the guys, to a lot of the guys. So he's not surprised. I see. We can find that clip actually. You just sent that to me.
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Was it a tweet?
No, it was a video. So it should be in.
Right? No. Oh my gosh. I talk about it all the time. It's like when you tap on something and then it's a notification. You're like, oh, I don't want to go there.
I think it's in WhatsApp. I sent it to you.
Oh, Jesus. I've looked everywhere. But
it is a tweet. It's a tweet. It's from Barbie on Twitter. And I sent it to you in WhatsApp. I think we can hear it.
I don't have my speaker. We'll try it. Can you guys hear it at all? So he said, if you couldn't hear it, that he after the Kiss Movie Challenge, he was telling all the guys that how he was interested in Olivia and that like the kiss was so good, and so he wasn't surprised by the fact that there was some feelings going on there, because they did share that moment, but clearly it wasn't aired at all. Clearly. Oh my gosh, am I that far behind the comments? Oh boy. Hi Darlene, thanks for joining. So my take on this is, it's about the bag. Cash should stick with Charlie and keep it moving. If it's about love, she should pick Cinco and potentially fumble the bag.
If it's about love, why would that be fumbling the bag if Cinco and her would prove that they're in love? This is my thing. Why it makes no sense to you saying one or the other, because either she's going to stay with Charlie and it's not going to be a real relationship and people will see it and she'll end up having to leave him anyway, or she's going to stay with Cinco, he's going to play her again and people are going to be upset about it again,
That's
or
I
she's
think
going to be in love.
that Cinco is a more volatile relationship, that he's
Mm-hmm.
more wishy-washy, that they might not stick together till the end. And so
Mm-hmm.
that would be interfering with her being able to get to the money. But if she stays with Charlie, he's loyal, he will stick with her to the end and she'll be able to get that cash. Cash
Yeah.
gets cash. So I think it's just the potentiality of Cinco not being able to stick with his
Mm-hmm.
word all the way to the end is where the fumble is, I think.
But then Charlie has to also still, again, it comes back to loyalty doesn't matter, because we see with Will and Kara. Will and Kara are nice and loyal, but I don't feel like they have a real relationship. So if Charlie cannot prove to us he has a real relationship, because that's what I see a lot of the criticism is about this season versus season 2, that none of the relationship feel real. And so people are choosing Josh and Shannon should win the money because Josh and Shannon feel like, at least though toxic, a real relationship. And then people are voting for none because they don't feel like anybody else is in a real relationship. And then Cash and whoever she wants to choose is after that. So if it's Charlie or if it's Cinco, one of those couples got to work. So my whole thing is, I think she just needs to choose whoever's got the best chemistry with her and keep it moving to the end.
I know, but I think what the comment was saying was that if she chooses Cinco, there's a potentiality that Cinco won't be consistent and she won't be able to get to the end with him. I think that's what she's saying.
I don't think she's going to choose Cinco if he's inconsistent, is my thing.
I actually do think she's going to choose Cinco because from this episode, I was like, she likes her vibe with him better. She likes how she feels with him better, comparing the two. And I think that she's going to go for Cinco. I think so. I do.
I'm not seeing where he's proven to her what she's asked him to do.
I know. So they have this conversation. So Cash and Cinco, they're talking, and she mentions like, I had to watch you coupled up with Trina and like kissing other people in challenges, and I still fought for you. And she can't ask him for the bare minimum, and he just doesn't do anything. And she has Charlie here who is giving her his all, and he's a great man, and like she really enjoys getting to know him. But we have this chemistry, and she's like, I just want you to fight for me. And so he's like, I just want you to be happy. And she's like, oh, so you're willing to let me be happy with another man? And I do think that is getting to him. The fact that she's saying like, you won't fight for me, you don't want to be with me enough. I think that, I don't know if he's going to give her what we want to give her to be enough, but I think that anything in the direction of making her feel as though she's the one, I think is going to be enough for her. And I do think she's going to choose Cinco because they just have a better immediate vibe. It's just more fun for her. She likes up a little bit more. And it's something that she's more used to. So then I said, GTFO, out of here, Trina crying to Cash. I'm just not down with it. Like, Trina, you have to keep it moving. Like, you injected yourself into this relationship. And the fact that the man now is interested in Cash again, like, it's just, I'm not really here for it. I'm not really here for you upset with the fact that he is following his heart. And you're the one. Like, I think it's just so rude and almost selfish that she is crying to the woman who she hurt first. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, now you have to go comfort me, Cash, because you're taking back what was yours.
People said they didn't understand why Trina came back single, knowing that potentially she was going to get thrown over by Cinco because she knew he wanted Cash. And I said, this is why she did not bring back a Raul or a Gabe, because she wants to be able to play victim.
Yeah, exactly.
This is how she feels like she's going to get to the end, is to make people feel sorry for her. And there are definitely people who feel sorry for her. because Cinco didn't stay with her and it is wishy-washy. People who could care less of what he did to Cash. Um, I am not one of those people.
Sorry
But
for
yeah,
her at all. I think that she needs to suck it up. Like, she put herself in this situation. She could have changed the situation by, as you're saying, come back with somebody else. At least then she would be like, well, I have somebody, like, even if it's not my number one choice, like, I'm not like left single. So I'm like, oh my God, like, poor me, Cash, make me feel better. Why are you making the person that you decided wasn't good enough to be with Cinco, so that you go and take the man and the man doesn't want you anymore? He wants to go back to what was originally the couple. It's just ridiculous. I'm so over Trina crying to Cash about it.
I think she's just lucky that Cash is a nice person.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
which is another reason why I feel like why Cash deserves the money, because what she did with her in this scene and what she did with her later with Olivia, like no other woman would have done.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, of course, Will and Kira are making out in bed. So it's a nighttime portion. Josh talks to Kira a little bit and reassures her. I don't remember that conversation. Do you remember it?
No, I don't remember the conversation either. I mean, a lot of the Kira stuff, other than her conversation with Cinco, I kind of like ignored because she was annoying me so much. Like, no, but for real, like, I did not like what she did in this episode. Like, all of a sudden, she's in the shower. All of a sudden, oh, I don't think you heard. I think it was on Laid Bear. They said that she went to bed with no underwear on. Like, I am not a fan. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
I mean, if she's just trying to be like, oh, like, let me just make sure, like, I get him, like, that sucks.
Yeah.
But, I mean, who wears underwear to bed anyways, right? So Charlie says, that he feels like there's no comparison, that she doesn't think that Cash needs to compare him to Cinco, but I think that she is. What are you gonna say?
I actually loved what Charlie said in that whole confessional. I was like, yes, but I need the actions to back that up. Like,
exactly.
it can't just be you're like, I'm better, because that's not how this show works. You could be the best person for somebody, but unless you show it, unless you have the person feeling it, that's not going to work.
Yeah, if he doesn't keep his foot on the gas here, he will lose to Cinco doing the bare minimum.
Yep, pretty much.
And so, but Charlie does feel like he's in a soap opera, which I think is hilarious. I'm like, yeah, that's Love Island. Love Island is a soap opera for 6 weeks, 100% for money.
Pretty much.
So Cinco wants to talk to Kira about Cash? Or are they
trying to get I was so confused. I was definitely so confused. I don't know if it's that, like, Shannon and Olivia have made it clear to him that that they literally don't like him for her or something. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then remember, Will is his bestie, so Kira, I maybe he just feels like she could have been a sounding board. But I was very annoyed, A, at her advice, and B, that he went to her in the first place. Like, to me, if he was serious, he should have went to Olivia and Shannon and said, like, what the frig should I do? Tell me what you think I should do in order to win her back.
Yeah, absolutely. And so Cinco and Cash have better chemistry. I believe in them.
You're not the only one. There's so many people who, this is why people keep saying she's going to fumble the bag, but there's so many people who are like diehard casino fan, like that no matter what, they're not going to believe that she's going to love. They didn't believe it when she was with Isaiah. They don't believe it when she's with Charlie, and they're not going to believe her moving past Cinco.
What do you think about this one? I think that CJ says, I think that Cash has more chemistry with Isaiah than with Charlie.
No, I don't actually.
I don't agree with that one.
I don't. I think she had good chemistry with Isaiah. Could she have stayed with Isaiah? Yes. Would it have worked? No, because he's not loyal. He has no loyalty. He wishy-washies everything. That's why you can't believe half of the stuff that he says. So that is why they wouldn't have worked, because he wouldn't have ever been able to make Cash believe that he was in love with her.
Hi, King Cash. So Trina saying that she felt blindsided and blaming Cinco for ruining her experience here. I was livid when she
I
said
was livid. I was like, what?
experience. You ruined your experience here, bro. You.
I'm like, you chose him. How is that his fault? I'm like, you actively pursue. Like, listen, I am not saying that somebody should not actively pursue the person they want, but then you can't come and say, well, you ruined my experience because the person then decides that you're not the person that they want to be with. They want to go back to the person that they were with when you stole them. I can't.
Exactly. We're with you, King Cash. She did know the risk of throwing herself in the middle of that relationship. Absolutely. And she thought that she was going to come out victorious. And so she ruined her experience. I was so angry, like the whole time, just like, Trina, you're so frustrating. Okay, Trina is not Cash's friend. No, she's a frenemy, mean girl. She's pretending to be Cash's friend. It's kind of like giving her kind of bad advice, wants her to feel a little bit shitty, like wants her, like I just don't like how she is moving with Cash. She is a bad friend, bad girlfriend. Trina says she knew Cinco wanted Cash all along, but she stayed with them instead of she played the guilt card to keep Cinco from Cash. Absolutely. If she was like Cash's friend and she could see this, she'd be like, talk to Cash and be like, listen, like I thought that I had something really special with Cinco, but I really feel like he still has some feelings for you. So maybe you guys need to have another conversation before like I continue pursuing something with Cinco, because like I don't want to be an afterthought if he's still thinking about you. And so I think you guys need to work something out. Like that's what a real friend would have said in a similar situation. But her, she's like, nah, you ruined my experience. What? Girl. Cash choosing Cinco won't make me like her any less. That's true. Me neither. The people who say that they will vote her out if she does go with Cinco were never her supporters. No, I mean, and her supporters are going to vote for her whoever she's with. I think though it will be easier to get the extra votes to be able to go up against the juggernauts of Will and Kira and Josh and Shannon if she goes into a relationship that we believe is going to last. And
I agree with that. I totally agree with you, Chantele, on that. I think that was what I was trying to say. Like, I think everybody loves Cash. Everybody could talk about was what she was doing last night with Trina. How much of a great friend that she is. How much of a good person she is, because everybody else would have been petty patty and done some really nasty things to Trina last night. And that is why I don't see it like Cash is like going to end up dead last in this. But I think that I just need a relationship that I'm going to believe in. Right now, I don't believe in either. So other people, they believe in, oh my God, it's this one. And then other people, they're like, oh my God, it's that one. So I'm pretty neutral. And I know there's a few neutral people on there just waiting for her to figure out which one she wants.
Just choose, girl. Just choose. We want to support. Choose, please.
Yeah. It's like the buffet. So yes, let me know which one is the better option here, and then I will help you choose. I will work with you on choosing it.
Exactly.
That's all.
So with that talk with Cinco and Kira, though, I like that Kira was like, well, I like it, I don't like. But she does say, like, if you want her, go get her. You shouldn't back down. You should go for it. I like that at least she was like saying from a woman's perspective is any woman in this type of situation, they just want to feel wanted. They want to feel pursued. This is Trina's whole problem, is she never felt pursued. Cash wants to feel pursued. She wants to feel like she's the prize. Charlie makes her feel more like the prize than Cinco does, but she has a better connection with him. So he just has to fight for her a little bit, just a little bit, and he'll get her just a little bit.
Just something. Just do something. That was my whole thing. Like, just do something.
Like, he could do this though. This might work though if he does like a girlfriend boyfriend thing, but maybe not go to that level yet because that's too soon, I think, for them. But do a little like, like the friendship bracelets, the boyfriend girlfriend bracelets that they did on Love Island, UK, like something like that. And be like, listen,
what Gibberty did.
Exactly. Like just give something, like take her on a moment where he could just say like, listen, I want to pursue you. I want to, and bring her like some flowers and take her.
I was gonna say he needs to talk to production, and he's like, okay, I'm screwing this up. Y'all gotta go get me some flowers, the most beautiful flowers that you ever go to that damn market that Giovanni and Olivia went to, and get me the best flowers ever so I can win this girl. I need something.
Exactly. I think he might. He's getting so much push from people that like, and he's already let go. Well, we haven't gotten there yet, but let go of Trina. That like he might as well go all in on cash right now because like, or he's gonna get dumped from the island. So if if he wants to come close to the money, he better go. He better go get some flowers.
And he got to make us believe it. That's what I'm saying. He's got to make us believe. Like I'm not. No, he can never do this. I'm like, listen, if he can make me believe it, I'm for it. Because I know that they had chemistry in the beginning. I was one of the only people who were like, I don't know, guys. I still see her and Seiko. Like he's looking at her. I saw the eyes. I saw the playfulness. I saw it look like he still wanted to kiss her. I'm not for it, but I need to believe it. Meaning, I need to believe you're going to be loyal to her from this moment on.
Absolutely. So I really love this next moment. The Love Island Broadway show, the review in the change room with her and Shannon. Like, I wish Shannon could sing a little bit better to pick up the type of humor that Cash was doing with like how she was going, like she's like how just was so like black opera or black like musician singing in a musical. Like it was so perfect, but Shannon didn't really get it. That kind of she was kind of making musical puns basically, which I thought was hilarious. And I really enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it enough to watch it a couple of times. I did watch the musical more than once.
I watched it when I watched the show, and then her her bestie who's running her account posted it, and I watched it there. I mean, I'm a musical gal, so I'm good. Like I'll watch it, and I love Cash. I think she has a great like stage presence for stuff like that.
Absolutely, and she's playing it off like she doesn't have a good voice, but she has a pretty good voice.
Yeah.
And Shannon actually has an okay voice as well, but you can tell that she's not trained and doesn't know how to sing. But
right.
With some training, she actually could be decent. Imagine they started a little girl group. Awesome. It would be awesome. So Corey talks to Leslie, and this to me seemed like Corey was telling Leslie that he's not into her anymore and that she should go for Cinco. Because
yeah, that was. I was like, whoa, where did that come from? I don't know. Was he just like, I don't know. So really, Leslie is Cash, right? Based on what I watched in the Laid Bear episode, she's probably a little worse than Cash in that she doesn't believe in. She wants to be either a swinger or in multiple relationships, but she's also pansexual. And
did you go with any of the identifying as females in the villa?
Right. So that was the thing that she was like, listen, I like women. Because they were like, I wish we could couple up with one of each other or something. And she was like, listen, I would. And so her and Genevieve, of all people, Genevieve was like, I want to be married, but it's like, do I want to be married on paper and have the government in my relationship? So she's one of those. I just feel like the same way I don't see everybody was pushing Cash to be with Corey to the end. I just don't see anything romantic with him and Leslie. I just don't think she's his type. But I think he was like, they had the strongest connection out of all the girls that were there. Other than, what's the other girl's name? Isabel. But I really do think, because in the Laid Bear episode, Isabel told him that she's the one that wiped away Kara's message.
Who was?
And put Isabel. She's the one that wiped away Kara's message and put the kiss there. And he's like, oh my God, Will thought it was Kara's kiss. He was like, no, it was mine. I just think Corey I think she was too immature for Corey. He's 28 years old. She's 21.
And
I
how
don't
she was
think
acting was also quite juvenile. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm just gonna like. I get any guy I want. Like, I don't care. Like, it's a little bit too like just
Yeah, I
like,
just don't think she was the one for him. So he chose the person he had the next best chemistry with, which was Leslie, which I agree with.
And I think the producers were probably like, "Can you bring her back in the house? Because she does have some good vibes with Cinco over there." That
exactly. And he's like, "All right, go be with Cinco if that's who you want to, or go find somebody else." But now Olivia's paying me attention. I really like her kisses, so yeah.
So next,
I felt kind of bad for Leslie.
Sorry,
I felt kind of bad for Leslie.
She's fine. She's fine. She came in with a game plan. She's probably just surprised that Corey, who she thought that she had wrapped around her finger, was like kind of brushing her off. I think I think she's just surprised because she's probably used to getting any guy that she wants. She's gorgeous, she's cute, she's fun, easy to get along with. She's worked in environments where she's good at getting along with people. So I think that she's just surprised that she didn't have him wrapped around her finger as tight as she is used to. That's the reason why I think we felt bad for her, is that she's just like surprised that like, whoa, some guy's not like super into me that I've decided I wanted to be with. That's not usual. So Trina and Cinco have their breakup, and Trina comes in rude, eh? She's like, so what do you want now? I was like, she's like rude. And she's like, I get that you want to be single. And, you know, he does say, though, my connection with Cash is stronger than with you. That must have hurt like a lot, like to Trina. And I would have chosen Cash. I think that he was coming back hot because she came in hot. Like, he was like, you're going to come with me like this? I'm going to come with you with the truth, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to tell you that I would have chosen Cash if I wasn't already coupled up with you. Woo! Oh, man. And then she says, I was blindsided the whole time. Sorry, what?
I was just like,
that Cinco was always had his eye on Cash, but she was blindsided.
She said 2 weeks ago, I see the way he still looks at. I see the way you still look at her. I see the way that she still looks at you. I see, like, so what did she think that this was? She kind of really thought that this was all one-sided on Cash's part.
Well, I mean, he completely robbed her of her experience.
I just don't see how that's possible when you chose him. That, like, I could understand. So let's say he didn't choose her.
Orchestrated her experience, right?
Right.
He made this whole thing be a drama that she participated in the villa. Nobody was going out to make some love triangle with Trina in it to make that to be the story of the villa of her summer. Nobody like participated other than acting on her actions. So she acted to go after Cinco. He says he wants Trina. And then Cash says, wait, you know what? I didn't really express how I really felt. Let me go talk to Cinco. Like, no, but they're not fully coupled up yet. They're not married yet. I still can go and talk to him. He kind of reciprocates the fact that he still has feelings for her. And they robbed you of your experience? I think it's the other way around. I think you robbed Cash of having her the love story that she could have maybe had.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if they stayed coupled up?
I mean, CASA AMOR might have been challenging, but he's pretty loyal. Like, I think that he just doesn't care about Trina that much. But I don't think that if he was coupled up with Cash, that he would have, strayed at all. Maybe in a challenge, but like he respects her a lot.
Yeah.
And he treats her as a friend too.
Right. By that point, they would have built something so like foundationally strong. I really believe he's so lazy. I don't think he would have, no, for real. I don't think he would have even gone the Will route. Like, kissing somebody outside of challenges and that kind of stuff. I don't see it.
So she does ask him, are you going to fight for Cash? And he's like, honestly, yes. And I was like, He really wants to make her feel this.
Yeah,
Like, he
yeah,
was pissed at her, I think.
yeah.
And she's like, good for you, Cinco. I wish you all the best. And then after, was it right then? She goes,
Yes.
starts crying too. She's crying in the room by herself, and Olivia comes in. What's wrong? What's wrong? And then she's protecting Cash. I don't want him to hurt her.
Yeah.
No, you don't want him to be with her and then be happy and get to the end together, because then you lost.
Yeah. Somebody was like, she was crying real tears this time. And I was like, yeah, there was tears. And somebody else, yeah.
Squeezing out of her eye. Like,
Yeah.
her face.
Yeah. So, and then somebody else is like, they're only tears because she was embarrassed, because she's embarrassed. And I think so. I think she's embarrassed that he threw her over for somebody that she feels like, I don't understand why he would want her over me. And you can't make me not believe that. That's the way she acted.
And then Cash comes in and comes to comfort Trina. I don't know why it's Cash's responsibility to comfort Trina, but she does. And they decide to move her wardrobe over, and she's going to sleep in bed with Olivia now. She's like, I can't even see him. I don't even want to look at him. I can't see him anymore.
See, that pissed me off. Like, oh, Cash, I don't know how you did it. How could you sleep right next to us when, after he did what he did? And I was like,
she's just trying to remind her so she doesn't go back to him. She does not want her to go back to him at all. She's like, I'm going to do everything I can subtly to make Cash not want to go back to Cinco. I really think that's her ultimate plan. She doesn't want, if she can't have Cinco,
nobody
Cash
can.
is definitely not having Cinco.
Right.
That's what I think.
Okay, I can see it.
Okay, so they have a little getting ready montage. Night portion, we see Charlie making the toast. Corey has a talk with Cash, talks about Olivia, and briefly they talk about Cinco, and then Olivia interrupts, and Cash is like, absolutely, go ahead,
Operation Kissy Face.
Operation Kissy Face is in effect. And, he does say, can I have a hug? And she leans in. And then they kiss. I didn't look at the kiss, so how was it?
It was a good kiss. You have to suspend your belief. You have to suspend your belief a lot, because I don't believe she's into him. Like, I can see him being into her. I don't believe her. I don't believe, based on her actions, based on what she's asking for, I don't believe she's into him. Really.
Like, if Bonnie's more her type than Corey is.
Yeah. Like, what does Corey do? He's a model, and what else? Like, Giovanni owns a business. She said she wanted a businessman.
She doesn't like Corey. I mean, we know this. We definitely know this. Okay, so my phone died, but if you have it still, want to read it out. So Shannon and Jenny, they have a discussion about their falling out and what happened. She said, like, oh, like, I sent you, like, yeah, but you never responded. And Shannon's like, oh, well, like, I didn't read the whole thing. I just was still mad. And then I don't know where like, I don't know what happened, but they were like, okay, but anyways, I found a man. Hey, bestie, we're besties again. All of a sudden, they're besties again. I never really saw it get resolved.
Yeah, so they don't mention exactly what went down. They seem to gloss over, I guess, just to be cordial in the villa. Like, they got to stop this, by the way. Stop trying to be friends in the villa. But yeah, so based on what somebody posted on either Facebook or Twitter, apparently the tea is that Jenny is friends with Kylie, Shannon's sister, and one time in Miami, all the girls went for a birthday party, and Shannon's ex, I'm not going to say his name, owner of Barstool Sports, slept with Jenny while he was still dating Shannon, and they are arch enemies. They knew apparently they knew what they were doing when they put Jenny on. Poor sweet Shannon. She's my cousin, so I know. And also the guy is a pedophile because he's like 50 and Shannon was like 18. And when he started dating her, and then when he slept with Jenny, she was like 20, 21.
So, they're fighting over a guy, and like that's typical 21-year-old. Like when I was 21 to 25, all the fights that I had with my girlfriends were over guys and guys that they slept with, and they slept with this person's boyfriend, and they were seeing this person. It's all about that usually in the early 20s, and so I can understand them having this type of fight. And Jenny does seem like that type of girl, we'll say, especially because she's super young. So I'm surprised.
like some women, if you think you could get your best friend's older sister's boyfriend,
Clout,
and he has money, she would do it.
Well, like I don't know why it just comes into my head, but it reminds me of Jordan and Tristan, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not her sister, but like, oh my God, this guy that's older and he's paying me attention, and like he's dating like my best friend's older sister who's super rich, super famous, super gorgeous, like, and he's paying me attention. Like they just want that from them. And so it's really easy for guys to be able to, like, especially if they're older, to be able to, persuade a younger woman that, hey, like, you're special, like it's all about you, I want to be with you, like there's nothing going on between us, we're not really that serious, whatever they say. And gonna eat it up because she's young and she hasn't had that many experiences yet. So
and thankfully Jordan didn't fall all the way for it.
Yeah, exactly. But I just was like, I felt bad for her because Tristan is kind of a mess. But I wish that they were able to figure out their friendship still, because I really did like their friendship. I thought they were cute together. But
they tried to ruin the girl, so I like, especially Chloe. I used to actually be, not, I wouldn't say a fan, but I used to have a lot more respect for her. That I've totally lost.
Totally. Yeah, I think that she's lying to herself here just because she wants to stay with the guy. So speaking of Tristan, did you see all the rumors when they were at that party in LA where there was one of the doormen's birthdays or something, and it was rumored that Kira, Selly, and Justine went into a room for like a half an hour with Tristan. Did you ever find out if that was true or what happened? Like, I know Selly said like, that wasn't us, we never did that, but like,
well, what actually was stated was that it was a lady in a pink dress, a lady in a white dress, went into the room with him, and I think everybody was like, oh, it could have been Selly because she was wearing a white dress and she wanted to be a singer, and the other person wanted to be something else. We had seen pictures the week before when they posted it on their feed. Justine wasn't wearing pink, and neither was Kira. They were wearing different colors. And so on Twitter, Selly basically said, I don't know what anybody's talking about. I never went to anybody's room. Me and Justine left. Justine. I don't know if she said Kira left too, but they all left right afterwards. After they were in the party. So I don't know. From what I could tell, based on the evidence, it definitely wasn't her, because the way they said it, it was like a singer from someplace that she's not. And somebody in a pink dress, and I remember from the stories, Justine was wearing blue, and they're joined at the hip. So I really don't think that's what happened.
I think it would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
But no, I don't want them to be caught in that kind of drama at all.
Yeah.
So they made up, and best friend vibes, bestie vibes only. Sorry. We should get a t-shirt actually with bestie vibes only. I think it's actually cute, that line, but I don't think they're besties, because you saw what the preview looks like with them in the next episode. Just saying. So Cinco and Cash do have another conversation, and he wants to put everything out there, actually, I think.
Yeah, he said that I want to do what you did for me and just tell you my truth on how I feel for you and where I'm at and that kind of stuff.
And he says that you are the connection that I want. And I'm like, okay, this is a good start, Cinco. It's a good start. And she asked, do you think that you can make me happy? And he says, I do. I was like, okay. Now make her happy, Cinco.
This is what I'm saying.
So we see Kira and Will showering together, and then you mentioned that she comes to the bed without any underwear on, so she's going to be a little more sexually aggressive with him in order to maybe keep him. But it's actually, I don't think it's good for their relationship. I think that if she wants to keep him, she'd keep doing what she has been doing, because it's made him connected to her more. But do what you want, girl. Do what you want. Olivia says, I kissed Corey. I think she said this to was it to all the girls, or was it just Cash? Do you remember?
I don't know if it was even Cash was in the room.
Anyway, she says, I kissed Corey, and how was it? And she's like, he's a good kisser. She didn't really sell me that she enjoyed the kiss that much.
Yeah. Again, I'm not believing
he's a good kisser.
Yeah, I wasn't believing it.
Like when I talk about the guys that I've kissed, and I'm like, oh my god, like he's like the best kisser. I'm like, oh my god, he's such a good kisser. Like, you know, it's like you can tell that like I think someone's a good kisser. Like I wouldn't just be like, yeah, he's a good kisser.
Yeah, I wasn't believing it. I wasn't believing it. I don't know. Some I want to see how far she takes this.
Right. Okay, so everybody's sleeping and maybe everybody's making out. And in the morning, we see Miss Trina, and she's at the sink washing her face, brushing her teeth or whatever, and Cinco comes in. The girl ignores Cinco completely. And he's like, hello. And then Charlie comes in and she's like, morning, King Charlie. So funny.
Or was it King or Prince? It was hilarious.
I wrote down King.
Oh, okay. It was hilarious. Whichever one. It was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious.
I was like, man, that's cool. That's like, if anything would make Cinco move away from her, be like, okay, good. Like I'm not like, if she's gonna treat me like this. The reason why he was able to get back with Cash was when she had that conversation where she's like, you know, I said that I couldn't be friends with you, but I still want to be friends with you. And when she allowed the friendship to still come back, that's what got him to start missing her. You know what I mean? And so I think that with her giving him this cold shoulder, he's like, okay, good. I made a great decision, because like this energy, I'm not with it. So I think it could be shooting her in the foot, even though he's not interested in her. He's never going to go back to her, I don't think. But I think it's making it easier for him to go and jump over to Cash. I think. And then that's almost the end of the episode. We see the Cash and Cinco boxing, and they were just like, you know, he's showing her to do a couple little patterns, like right, left, uppercut, jab, whatever. And after that, I thought it was so funny when she's just like throwing down her gloves, and then she's like, oh, I've got like all the strength, and she's gonna flip over the table, and like they're just both laughing and just being silly and having fun. And I enjoyed that moment of them. And I was just like, Cinco, this is a good start too. Like doing activities with her to show your chemistry and your bond and your vibe. So I really like this moment between them. What about you?
So Giovanni said he taught him that. He taught him that combination, which I thought was funny. I don't know. I'm still very neutral about their relationship. I need to see more. They have chemistry. That's all I can say. But I've been saying that. I just feel like the people who were saying they didn't have any chemistry just didn't want to believe it, because they feel like Cash is the ugly duckling and Trina was the beautiful swan, and that she didn't deserve him. And it's just the same people who still believe either she doesn't deserve Cinco or she doesn't deserve Cash, and she should pick. She should be grateful for whatever she has and pick, and that's not the point. Cinco just doesn't like. I how many times have I said it? Cinco is not assertive enough for me to want him to be with anybody right now. I need to see it. He needs to sell it. I need it.
Do you think though, if he doesn't have the Trina of it all to be thinking about it, he is going to be looking for opportunities, I would hope, to spend some time with her, to woo her or whatever. So
that's what I'm saying. That's what I need to see. Like pretty much.
So Allie thinks that Cash needs to give Charlie some slack. Coming into the villa, knowing practically no one but her. It's been 3 or 4 days with Charlie versus 3 weeks with Cinco. Stopped expecting him to act like Cinco. True.
I mean, I agree with stop expecting him to act like Cinco, but he also knows all the other girls. So I mean that's not.
Like, did you really get to know them though? Like, did you have any conversation with Kira?
Again, this is the problem with doing Casa Amor in 3 to 4 days. You didn't build enough foundation to like that is the point. Like you have to come in there and be a strong relationship.
Brandy, I mean, I do want this as well. You're not petty.
No, I'm not. I feel like if Cash knows what he did with Leslie, she would actually be done with him.
I'm not sure because she also did. Well, yeah, she might be done. It might be like, oh, do you know what? Charlie has not done anything like that to me. But no, you're not petty, Brandy. I do want Leslie. Like once Trina's out of the picture now, and Corey just friend zoned Leslie, kinda. I can see her having a conversation with Cinco, and Cinco being involved in another little love triangle now again with Cash and Leslie.
That's why I'm saying that. That's why I'm saying that. It's like when Cher was in the villa with Justine and Caleb, and he says he shut her down, and she had that conversation with Cher, and she was like, "Oh well, Cher's still open." He said he assured Justine that there was nothing there on his side, and actually it made him feel uncomfortable that that's how she felt, right? So that's what I need. I think if she doesn't feel like Cinco shut that down enough, she's not going to entertain him.
She's just gonna be like, okay, this is too much. This guy
I can't do it again. I will not go through another. Yeah, that's what I mean. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she would just be like, okay, no thanks. I'm not
But
here.
right now she knows nothing about Leslie. I don't think she knows, not even that I've seen on the Laid Bear episode. I don't think she knows anything about their connection, what they did. So, because Corey hasn't told her, I don't think Josh told Shannon to tell, so for her to find out. So she doesn't know that happened.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Allie, when Olivia and Corey kissed, I screamed, ew, nasty. I mean, I couldn't really watch it, so that's why I'm asking, like, was it good? Because, like, it was a little bit awkward for me as well. And so when someone said, yes, I agree here that it was kind of like watching a mother and her son. It wasn't, I didn't want to see it.
That's what I said. It wasn't believable. Like, and it's nothing to knock her age. You know, Olivia's very pretty. Corey's not my type, so I'm not like it's the pretty girl with the gorgeous guy. Like, I don't care about that. It just does not. I just don't see the chemistry. I don't think they have anything going on. And I mean, it's probably something going on his side, but I'm not even seeing that it's one-sided. I don't see anything. I don't see anything.
Totally agree. So Lisa says, Corey keeps on allowing himself to be an easy target. I'm not even mad at Olivia for playing the game. Well, that maybe they're playing the game together though, right? Because they do have better shot at getting to the end together with votes. Right. I think that they could be easily dumped if they each were separate. Yeah. So it could be a double gameplay.
Yeah. I mean, again, what did I say? I definitely called her coupling up with Jeremy to take us in the end. So this is very plausible that they're both like, hey, let's just be with each other just until the end.
Well, Dana, I actually think that Leslie is a little bit into Cinco in the sense that like they do have a vibe. They do have sexual chemistry. I think that she feels and probably has had the experience her whole life that she can get any guy. And I think she wants to stay in the villa. So she is going to go for the lowest hanging fruit, which is Cinco, and she's gonna go all in on him. I think so. I don't think she's gonna allow herself to be pied by Corey here and not go and try to get Cinco to link up with her. Definitely. Okay, Alexander's was with you, Tamika, on this completely. His lack of assertiveness is a turnoff. I hope that Cash still gives Carly an opportunity to build. Hope so too, but I don't think she's going to.
But see, that's what I'm saying. I'm not like I liked Charlie in Casa because I feel like he was more assertive, and I'm not seeing that either in the villa, and that's what I need to see. Like, I need pursuit. Somebody got to pursue, and it shouldn't be Cash.
Wait, so wait, do you mean that you can see Leslie talking to Cash, or you actually cannot? Because I could see Leslie talking to Cash.
Oh yeah,
I can see that happening. I can see Leslie talking to Cash and Trina and Cinco, for sure. Not Trina, it's Cash and Cinco. I can see that.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with. So I think the last scene was Trina talking to Olivia about like not wanting Cash to get hurt, and I'm just like, get out of here! Don't even pretend like you are looking out for Cash's best interest. You're looking out for your own ego, not to be bruised by him going back to someone that you thought was inferior to you. That's it. That's my take on it. You can't make me think any differently. Trina does not want Cash to be happy with Cinco if she can't be happy with Cinco.
I can see that. I'm not hating on that theory. I can definitely see it because I definitely feel like she thinks she's better than Cash. Mm-hmm. Just by the way that by her actions. Everybody wants to gloss over her actions. Well, I didn't like what she did, but no, there's no but. What she did is it was based on insecurity and what she felt like she could get out of it going for it. It's the same reason why she came there with nobody. I would have at least did my hardest to try to find a connection, knowing that guy was still playing me and my friend. I would have sat there and did everything to find a connection with one of those guys. Somebody, anybody. And then my ass would have brought him back.
That's why I was annoyed with Kirsten, like standing there. And I was just like,
yes,
bring someone back. Like, if you want to pine away, he says he doesn't want you. Don't stay single. A, give another opportunity to somebody else. B, give somebody else a chance. Like, look,
right.
Amy, imagine Amy, like, was in a similar situation. And, like, she went to CASA AMOR with Jeremy. And she's coming back for Jeremy. But, like, she had talked to Wes a couple of times. And then she just decided to come back single. But now she realized, like, oh, shit, like, I really actually like Wes. Like, she missed out on potential opportunities when her eyes is not glazed over by these idiots that they're falling for in the villa.
Right. And, like, I just, like, I would have brought somebody back. And I think Cinco wanted her to bring somebody back because it would have made the situation easier because then he would have been single. But that's why I'm saying I know that she didn't bring anybody back because she knew he was going to throw her over because this wasn't brand new. She knew this was coming. She knew he was still into Cash. She said it. And she allowed it to happen so she could play victim. And that's fine. That's the way she want to go about it. But you can't then blame the man and say he ruined her experience. This was the experience she chose. She could have chose to wait and see if another man came into the villa for her. She said, no, I'm going to go after this guy because he said I was first choice for him. And that's who I want. And even when he was like, no, I'm with Cash. And that's who I want to be with. She turned sexual. She tried to kiss him. She did all these other things to get him. And then when she got him, it was I won. Like that's what makes me upset. It was I won, and that was it for me. That I know that to her this was all. I could get this from her, and I got it. And so I can't feel sorry for Trina in this situation at all. I felt very sorry for her in the Jeremy situation. Very, very sorry for her.
So Mayra says, yeah, Cash must not have had healthy relationships before because Cinco ain't it. If
I don't know.
She did say that she's never allows herself to get into super committed things. That's what I was gonna say. So that to me is that she's never really had a healthy relationship, and so.
But she's also 25. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? So they're both right out of college. Like, I just don't think I think that's why we're seeing Cinco play things the way he is. I don't think he's ever had to be in this situation where he's had to actually be upfront on something. I'm sure that anytime he's ever been in this situation where he's playing two girls, he just doesn't tell them. He ghosts one eventually. Like, it's the same way that I don't think Cash has ever had to be in a real relationship to, like, if something wasn't right, one thing, she just bulk. She just leave. Why wouldn't she? She's 20 something years old. That's why a lot of people are expecting these people to be married. And I'm like, they're 25. They're still figuring out who they were. You know what I mean?
We have a Trina stand here. You guys say a lot of negative things about Trina, and we're not saying about Trina. We're saying about her actions. If you pay attention more accurately, also saying like you put no blame on Cinco at all. He has free will.
When did I not blame Cinco? At what point have I not blamed Cinco for all of this? This is all his fault.
Anyways, people like to read between the lines and make the narrative as to what would suit them for what we're saying. But we're saying we don't like what she has done, and we do not like how she's acting with Cash, because it seems as though from her actions that she's not being a good friend to Cash, and that it's her ego that's driving her to want to, say, you don't want her to get hurt. I don't believe that about her from what her actions have told me. So if she was acting the way that Cash has been acting, then we wouldn't be able to have any of these comments about her actions in the villa, because that's what we're doing. We're watching how she's moving on the screen, and how she's moving, I think, is a little bit incorrect, and we're just calling out her actions. I don't know how she is as a person. We can.
I've never said anything about her. The only thing I've ever said about her is that I think she's coming from a place of insecurity. Yeah. Trina said it herself. She's an insecure person, and she built up herself. She felt, and then she's really realizing she still has a lot of those insecurities. Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, that's the stuff that I've gotten from watching all the episodes, and I've watched, I think, every single episode at this point, and I'm taking what Trina has put out on the stage. Trina's beautiful. I'm sure she's a kind-hearted person, but in this situation, she's not been a good friend for somebody she claims is a friend, and she's also not done herself. She's done herself a disservice at this point, because she went after a man who, even she sees now, wanted to be with somebody else, but had a sexual attraction to her, and she knew she could get him based off of that. And then he blames her. I was like, I love how he's blaming Trina for this now. So it was Cash's fault, and now it's Trina's fault that they were in the coupling, and then she stopped trying. And from what everybody's saying, Giovanni, she just lied around the villa with him. They didn't do anything. So that's on both of them. That's like, if she wasn't trying, did you say to Trina, I feel like everything that we did in the beginning for us to be coupled up, you're not doing that with me anymore. And it doesn't make me want to do that stuff with you going forward. No, because he's not assertive. He's not assertive, and he doesn't know how to tell. He has a bad communicator. He does not know how to tell people how he feels, where he stands, and it's annoying.
So Underground says 5 gets all the smoke too, which is true. Like, we're not happy with him at all. Right. At all. They were both dead wrong about the way they went about that relationship. Absolutely.
Yeah. The only thing I'm giving Cinco is, I have seen it from the beginning. I still see it. Him and Cash have amazing chemistry. It's undeniable. Anybody who's trying to deny it is lying to themselves. Period.
Exactly. Well, Mayra says that she doesn't think that Trina's that good of a manipulator. Laugh my ass off. Well, I think that it's not that she's being calculated necessarily about it, but I think it's just something that she intrinsically knows that like she's going to get sympathy if she does this, and she's probably learned that type of behavior, and it's worked for her in the past. It probably as a way to protect herself, protect her feelings. You know, we see her talking about how she was always being hidden in, you know, relationships when she was dating white men or and whatnot, and so there's things that she learned to cope. And I feel like she's doing those coping mechanisms in this situation, and it's not actually looking good with what she's claiming to be as a friend to Cash.
Right.
That's it. That's it. That's pretty much all the comments, though. So we'll see what the response here is. I don't agree with the way Trina did it behind Cash's back, but you guys don't have to belittle her emotions. Well, we just don't believe them. Like, I don't believe that I think that she's trying to make herself look out like a victim a little bit. I do believe that she has experienced times where she's had low self-esteem and that she's, you know, felt less than. I do feel like she's experienced that, but I do feel like it's calculated the way that she's using her emotions in the villa.
I've seen her cry once, and it was with real tears, and it was based on a real situation. And that's the only time that I've believed her. The girl has cried dry tears every other time, and the only time that she's really cried, so that I know the difference, is on yes, we are voting tonight. I'm sure it's probably for a date for new guys.
Oh, it might be a date. Yeah.
Yeah. I doubt it's gonna be because
it's gonna be like Will and Kira are gonna have a date.
Yeah, I doubt it's for because what's her name? Olivia's still single, so there's no way that unless they're protecting her, and that people will be pissed.
Cash a date. Cash can take out on a date. What if Cash gets to pick? Oh yeah, she's in a couple though, so actually it'd have to be her couple, I guess.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of interesting. Dana says Cinco didn't need to tell Trina is changed because he was too busy having fun with Cash, cutting her hair, tying her do-rag, boxing with her.
That's what I'm saying. Trina said she saw all that stuff. She saw the way that they looked at each other. She saw that the way that they are. She said this. We're not saying something that out of nowhere. She said those words. So then you can't sit there then 2 weeks later and say, oh, you robbed me of my experience. I didn't know this was coming. Like, that's not true. That's not true.
From what she has said. Exactly.
I'm not even taking what Cash has said. And Cash also went up to her and said, this is how I feel. This is what I'm going to do. Because I know a lot of people want to say that Cash blindsided her. She did not. She said that Cash came to her and told her she still had feelings for Cinco. She was going to tell him. So I don't know. Oh, 3 girls. Girls. Why are they bringing in girls, though?
I don't know.
That doesn't make sense. Olivia's single. There's too many girls as it is.
Oh, my gosh. They're silly. They're dumb. Maybe just had more girls left over.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty much it for the episode. Obviously, good times exploring the characters that we're watching on our screen that are these islanders.
Ooh,
go ahead.
One thing I forgot from the Laid Bear episode. So apparently, Leslie told Corey that her grandmother told her somehow that Will and Kira knew each other before they came on the island, and the boys were pissed because they did not know. And according to her, she told them all about the, liking each other's pictures before they came on the island. And the guys were like, "It really? That can't be the case." Then they they felt played. I was dying laughing. I'm like, I don't know.
That's interesting that because how she's presenting it is that they are playing a game. So maybe that's why that reinforces that he probably had more of a vibe with Flo, and he's sticking with Kira because, as you said, their management has put them together, and that's why we don't fully see the chemistry. They kiss well together, but I don't see the vibe. He doesn't have a good time. He lights up when he's with Flo. He doesn't really light it up with Kira. I could definitely see them having made the decision to stay together. So
Yeah.
definitely. Hey, that's a good piece of tea. I'm going to watch it right after this. So Cash better decide quick. They could be coming for both Cinco and Charlie. Of course they're going to come for Cinco and Charlie.
That's
Like,
the point.
probably do.
Yeah, it was just like the when the three boys came in after Casa Amor, and they came in for Sally. She was still coupled up with Johnny. They're going to come for couples.
Josh, it'll be Will, and it'll be Cinco probably.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
Well, this has been always a delight, even if there's people that don't agree with our opinions. We still enjoy chatting with everybody in the chat room. And obviously, I love chatting with you as well, Tamika. Where can people find you online? What are you up to?
You can find me at Entertainment in Color on IG, Twitter, Facebook.
Oh, okay. Say something else. I'm like, we find her at Entertainment in Color on, on social media.
On all socials.
Yes, and please subscribe to Reality Realness with 3 S's. We're just trying to build a community of people that like talking about their opinions about people on a TV show and judging them on the persona that we see on this show. We don't know them as people. We're just judging what we are shown here. So
the character.
Exactly. Take any of it seriously because we don't know them. We are just giving an opinion on what we see on a television show. Just reminding everybody that. So please like this video, subscribe, as I've already said. Leave a comment. Do you think that we are unfairly judging Trina on her actions here, or do you think it's warranted? Do you think that Cash is going to go back to Cinco or stay with Charlie? Do you think that these new women are going to actually shake up the villa, or do you think it's just going to be they have people in reserve and they just need to bring them on within the next 2 weeks? What do you think? Leave some comments in the comment box below. Subscribe, like, help that algorithm out. We love you for it. And, just so you know, tonight we are going to go live after the episode because we will not be able to go live tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. So tonight at, I guess, the episode comes at 9, so 10:15 Eastern, we will go live to talk about the episode while it's fresh. So we might have more hot takes without us having to overthink it. Or we might be more mad or more pissed about certain situations because we hadn't had a little bit of time for it to simmer. So please come and hang out with us at 10:15 Eastern tonight to talk about the episode. And I will have by then most likely have watched Laid Bare, so I'll be able to give my 2 cents in there as well. Yes, see you tonight, Brandy. Thank you so much. Thank you, CJ. Thank you, everybody else in the chat. We love you. And we'll see you later on tonight. Bye.